Hello students, today we are going to start chapter number 3, Diversity in Living Things and Their Classification part 3. So in this chapter we will start with classification of plants. So here we can see that in this chart there are 4 types. The first one is tree, then shrubs, herbs and vines. So these are the 4 types of plants, and then we can easily notice the differences in the shape and height of the plants in our surroundings. It is easy to classify the plants on the basis of their observation. Now, tree. What are the trees? So, some plants grow tall and their stem or trunk is hard and strong. They have branches at same height above the ground. They bear flowers and fruit for many years. And such plants are called trees. So what are the trees? They grow tall and their stem and trunk hard and strong. Also they have branches and they bear fruit, flowers, and such plants are called trees. Is that clear? Now, trees are tall, big and perennial. They live for many years. So what are the meaning of perennials? That those trees which can live for many years. And then shrubs. So what are the shrubs? Some plants grow close to the ground. They give out branches very close to the ground. They are shorter and smaller than trees, but they have a thick and hard stem. Also the example of shrubs are the oleander, hibiscus, lantana, coranti and rose are shrubs that may grow up to 2 to 3 meters. Okay, they grow up to 2 to 3 meters. Now the next one is herbs. Herbs grow 1 to 1.5 meters tall. The stem of herbs are green and quite flexible as compared to those of trees and bushes. And the last point, herbs may live for a few months or up to 2 years. Okay, the lifetime of a herbs is minimum lifetime is a few months and the maximum 2 years. Is that clear? Now the next one is vines. Some vines need vertical support for growing while some other spread on the ground. Climbers like the money plant have aerial roots. The stem of a creeper is very flexible, soft and green. It grows rapidly with the help of a support. Now there is a question. The question is, for how many years do crops like bajra, jowar, corn, radish, marigold? The life cycle of plants like jowar, sunflower is completed in 1 year. So these plants are called annual. Okay. The life cycle of plants like carrot, beetroot is of 2 years. So they are called biennial because they live for 2 years. Now next one, shrubs like the hibiscus and oleander and trees like mango and gulmohar live for several years. Okay, and bear fruits and flowers. So they are called perennials. Those plants and trees who live for several years, they are considered as perennials. Is that clear? Now, diversity and classification in animals on the basis of their body structure. So in this diagram, we can see that the first one is amoeba and the other one is an elephant. And we all know that amoeba is a unicellular. What is the meaning of unicellular? Those animals or species which have only one cell. Okay, so the example is amoeba, paramecium and some other organisms. Now in multicellular, elephant is an multicellular. Those animals which have multiple cells are considered multicellular organisms. Okay, examples are elephant, rat, and also humans. Okay. Now, the next one is based on their food. We see a variety in animals with respect to their food as well. Since animals depend on others for their food, they are found in places where food is available. So we can see that animals depend on others for their food. Now in this chart you can see that there is soil. From soil plants get their food in the form of water and some minerals, and then from plants herbivores. Herbivores means like birds and squirrel, rat and insect got food from the plants and they are considered as herbivores. Then primary predator like snake, frog, they eat herbivores. And in the top there are secondary predator. They eat primary predator, herbivores, plant as well. Okay, so this is the based on their food. Now classify according to vertebral column. So what is the vertebral column? The collection or the chain of bones which found in humans name as vertebral column, by which we can stand or sit. That chain of bones are known as vertebral column. So the first one is vertebrates and the other one invertebrates. Animals with a vertebral column means the collection of bones or the chain of bones known as vertebrate, like example snake, bird, fish, kangaroos and also humans. And those animals who do not have vertebral column known as invertebrate. For example, snails, they do not have vertebral column, like cockroach, earthworm, all these do not have vertebral column. Is that clear? Next, according to the mode of reproduction. So there are two types of mode. The first one is oviparous and second one is viviparous. In oviparous, animals which lays eggs and hatches them. For example, a hen lays eggs and hatches them. After a few days, the young chicks hatch out of the egg. And in the viviparous, animals are born as living young individuals. Therefore, they do not lay eggs. For example, a cow gives birth to a calf. Before that, the calf grows within the cow's body. Okay, so this is the classification of animals according to the mode of reproduction. Now, the next one, according to their habitat. Terrestrial animals. The first one is terrestrial animals. Animals are that live predominantly or entirely on land. For example, cat, ant, spider. Okay, these are the terrestrial animals. Now the next one, aquatic animals, like animals which live predominantly or entirely in the water, like fish, lobster, octopus. Okay, these are the aquatic animals. The next one is amphibious animals. Animals which rely on the combination of aquatic and terrestrial habitat, for example, frogs and newts. So these are the example of amphibious animals. And the last one is aerial mode of life. A kite, an eagle, a crow, a butterfly, a honeybee, all fly in the air. Though they live in different places, these animals are said to have an aerial mode of life. So these are the classification of animals according to their habitat. Okay, so this is the classification of plants and animals. Okay, and If you like and understand this video, then like the video, share with your friends and subscribe the channel. Thank you, students.